The research facility on Mars hummed with activity as scientists and engineers worked through the night. Lisa Martinez wiped sweat from her brow as she checked calculations on her holographic display. The room was filled with the soft glow of screens and the occasional whir of cooling systems. "This is it," she whispered to herself. "We are about to change everything. For 10 years. Lisa had led the team developing a new kind of faster-than-light travel. Previous alien FTL systems required massive amounts of rare minerals found only in specific star systems. This dependence kept humanity tied to alien trade networks and their regulations. But not anymore. The door slid open and Samantha Cole, the facility director, entered, her blonde hair tied back in a practical ponytail. Her expression serious. "Are we ready?" she asked. Lisa nodded. "The final simulations check out. The drive creates stable corridors through space without the mineral requirements. The aliens said it was impossible." Samantha moved closer to the display, studying the scrolling data. The implications were enormous. Humanity had been part of the galactic community for only 50 years. Their introduction had been rough. The Zaxori, the dominant species in the local cluster, had initially attempted to quarantine Earth, claiming humans were too aggressive to join galactic society. It took a full decade of negotiations and demonstrations of peaceful intent before Earth was granted limited membership in the Galactic Council. Even then, humans were restricted from certain technologies and star systems. That was about to change. "Begin final testing sequence," Samantha ordered Lisa. "Input the commands." Her hands steady, despite her racing heart. The prototype drive in the sealed chamber began to glow with soft blue light. Energy readings climbed steadily but remained within predicted parameters. Phase 1 stable, Lisa reported. Phase 2 initiating. On the other side of the facility, Mary Roberts monitored communication channels. Her job was to ensure their experiments remained undetected by the Zaxori monitors in orbit around Mars. The aliens had insisted on oversight of all human space technology. "Everything clear?" she asked through her comm link. "So far," Mary replied. "But we should hurry. The Zaxori ship changes position in 20 minutes." The test continued as energy flowed through the prototype. The blue glow intensified, forming a perfect sphere. Then something unexpected happened. The sphere began to pulse, sending waves of energy through the chamber. "Lisa, what is that?" Samantha asked, her voice tense. Lisa checked her readings. "Not in the simulation," she admitted, "but the corridor is forming. Look on the main screen." A visualization showed space folding, creating a tunnel that bypassed normal space. The corridor was stable, more stable than any Zaxori design. "It works," Lisa breathed. "It actually works." The prototype continued to pulse, each wave stronger than the last. Suddenly alarms blared through the facility. "Energy spike," Mary shouted through the comm. "The Zaxori ship is changing course. They detected something. Shut it down." Samantha ordered. Lisa frantically input the shutdown sequence, but the drive continued to pulse. The blue glow now filled the entire chamber, spreading outward. "I can't," she said. "It has to complete the cycle." The facility shook as the drive created its final pulse. Then suddenly, everything went quiet. The blue glow faded, leaving only the normal lights of the lab. "Did it work?" Samantha asked. Lisa checked the readings and a slow smile spread across her face. "Better than we hoped. The drive created a stable corridor and maintained it with minimal energy. We could travel to Alpha Centauri and back on the power used to run this facility for a day." Mary burst into the lab, her face pale. "The Zaxori ship is hailing us," she said. "They demand immediate access to the facility." Samantha straightened her uniform. "We knew this might happen," she said calmly. "Begin data backup protocol. Hide everything in the secondary servers." Lisa nodded, already moving to secure their research. This discovery was too important to lose. The Zaxori ambassador arrived within the hour, his tall obsidian form towering over the humans, his amber eyes glowing with barely contained anger. "You have violated treaty regulations. Ambassador Zex stated, his six-fingered hand gesturing sharply. We detected energy patterns consistent with prohibited research. We are conducting energy efficiency experiments for our colony ships. Samantha replied smoothly. Nothing more. The ambassador moved to the sealed chamber, ignoring her explanation, his specialized sensors scanning the room. The prototype drive had been hidden, but traces of the energy remained. This is forbidden technology. The ambassador turned to face them. The council will be informed. Your species has not yet proven trustworthy enough for independent FTL research. Lisa stepped forward despite Samantha's warning glare. With respect, Ambassador, our treaty allows for energy research. We have violated no specific prohibition. The ambassador's skin darkened, a sign of anger. The humans had learned to recognize. The intent of restrictions is clear. Your species is too aggressive to be trusted with unrestricted space travel. The council will decide your punishment. After the ambassador left, Mary engaged the security protocols sealing the lab. No one spoke for a long moment, each considering the implications. They will try to take everything. Samantha finally said, the research, the prototype, all of it. Lisa squared her shoulders. They can try, she said. But this changes everything. We no longer need their minerals, their approval, or their permission. Humanity can chart its own course among the stars. The three women looked at each other, understanding the gravity of the moment. They had just changed humanity's future. The question now was whether that future would include peace with the galactic community or conflict. What do we do now? Mary asked. We prepare. Samantha said, we complete the work and prepare Earth for whatever comes next. 6 months passed since the breakthrough on Mars. The Zaxori had formally complained to the Galactic Council, accusing humanity of treaty violations. But Earth governments had moved quickly, implementing the plan they had prepared for years. Kate Wilson stood on the observation deck of the Armstrong space station, watching as workers assembled the first human warship equipped with the new FTL drive. The massive vessel took shape against the backdrop of Earth, its hull gleaming in the sunlight. Beautiful. Elstet. Kate turned to see Olivia, Green Earth diplomat, approaching. The woman wore the simple blue uniform of the diplomatic corps, her brown hair cut short. Her eyes, however, remained fixed on the ship. It is, Kate agreed. The Defiance. Our answer to the Zaxori threats. The council session is tomorrow, Olivia said. They will demand we surrender the technology and accept additional restrictions. They may even vote to quarantine Earth again. Let them try. Kate gestured toward the ship. In 3 days, Defiance will be operational. With the new drive, we can reach any human colony in hours instead of weeks. The Zaxori cannot isolate us anymore. Olivia sighed. Kate, you were a historian before joining the fleet. You know how first contact scenarios typically play out for less advanced civilizations. Kate nodded, her expression hardening. That was precisely why she had left academia to join the Space Force. Humanity needed defenders who understood history. This time will be different. She said, we have something they want, something they cannot replicate. Their FTL technology relies on minerals from specific star systems. Our drive does not. That gives us leverage. The women watched in silence as a shuttle departed the station, heading toward the ship. Do you think they will attack? Olivia finally asked. Kate considered the question. The Zaxori controlled 200 star systems. Their fleet numbered in the thousands. Earth had only recently established colonies on Mars, Venus, and several moons of Jupiter. Their fleet consisted of barely 50 vessels. They might, she admitted. But the new drive gives us advantages. Their ships are faster in normal space, but our FTL is superior. We can choose our battles, appear where they least expect. An alarm sounded throughout the station. Red lights flashing in warning. Attention, unidentified vessels have entered the system. Approach vector suggests Zaxori origin. All personnel to alert stations. Kate and Olivia exchanged glances. It seems the Zaxori have decided not to wait for the council vote. Kate said. They hurried to the command center. The large room buzzed with activity as officers monitored screens and relayed information. Holographic displays showed 5 Zaxori warships approaching. Earth General Fiona Walsh, commander of Earth Defense Forces, stood at the central console, her silver hair contrasting with her dark skin, her expression grim. Ambassador Green, Captain Wilson. She acknowledged them. The Zaxori fleet will reach Earth orbit in 20 minutes. They are not responding to hails. Olivia stepped forward. Let me try to establish communication. This may be a misunderstanding. The general nodded. Ambassador Olivia Green wishes to establish communication with the Zaxori fleet. Priority channel. A moment later, the main screen flickered, showing the bridge of the lead Zaxori vessel. The alien commander stood tall, his obsidian skin adorned with military markings. This is Ambassador Olivia Green representing Earth. We request clarification of your intentions in Earth space. The Zaxori commander stared with glowing amber eyes. The Council has determined that human FTL research poses a significant threat to galactic stability. You will surrender all research and prototypes. Immediately, Olivia maintained her diplomatic composure. The Council session is scheduled for tomorrow. This action violates diplomatic protocols. The Zaxori dismissed her objection with a wave of his 6-fingered hand. The decision is final. You have 1 Earth hour to comply or we will take action. The screen went dark. 1 hour. General Walsh mused. Not enough time to fully power Defiance, but enough time to evacuate key personnel and data. Kate said, the Mars facility has a working prototype and full research database. The general nodded. Captain Wilson, you will lead the evacuation team. Take our best engineers and scientists to Mars. If Earth falls, the colonies must continue. Kate felt the weight of the assignment, but nodded sharply. What about diplomatic options? Olivia asked. We have allies on the Council. The Narines have supported human independence. Contact them. General Walsh ordered, but prepare for the worst. The Zaxori would not send warships unless they were prepared to use them within minutes. Kate led a team toward the emergency shuttles. Scientists, engineers, and military personnel filed aboard, carrying data cores and essential equipment. The Defiance project would continue, even if Earth fell as her shuttle cleared the station. Kate watched additional Zaxori ships appear at the edge of the system, their numbers growing by the minute. This was not a diplomatic mission. It was an invasion force. Earth defense ships moved into position, creating a protective screen around the planet. Smaller, faster vessels escorted the evacuation shuttles, ensuring they reached the jump point. For Mars, from her viewport, Kate saw energy weapons flash as the first exchanges began. The Zaxori had not waited the full hour. Human defense platforms returned fire, creating a web of destruction in Earth. Orbit. Kate felt her hands tighten on the shuttle controls. She had studied conflicts throughout human history, but experiencing war firsthand was different. The shuttle shuddered as distant explosions created shockwaves through space. We will make it to Mars, Kate assured the frightened scientists aboard, and then we will build a fleet the Zaxori cannot match. This is not the end of humanity. It is the beginning of our true independence. As the shuttle reached the jump point for Mars, Kate took one last look at Earth. The blue planet seemed small and vulnerable beneath the flashes of weapons fire, yet something told her this would not be a repeat of historical conquests. The Zaxori had underestimated human determination, and that would be their greatest mistake. 2 years passed since the Zaxori attack on Earth. The planet remained under alien occupation, but humanity had not surrendered. The Mars colony had become the center of human resistance, transformed from a research outpost into a military headquarters. Admiral Kate Wilson no longer wore her hair in a tight bun. The stress of command had streaked it with premature gray. She stood in the underground war room of Olympus Base, reviewing holographic displays of recent battles. The human fleet had grown from the handful of ships that escaped Earth to over 200 vessels, each equipped with the improved FTL drive that Lisa Martinez and her team had continued to refine. The technology allowed human ships to appear without warning, strike Zaxori positions, and vanish before reinforcements arrived. Amy Rogers, Chief of Intelligence, approached the central table. Her red hair pulled back, revealing the scar that ran from her temple to her jaw, a reminder of her narrow escape from Earth. New intelligence from our operatives on Earth, she reported. The Zaxori are struggling to maintain control. Their occupation forces are spread thin. Resistance cells continue to disrupt their operations. Kate studied the reports. Human guerrilla fighters were causing significant problems for the occupiers. The Zaxori had expected quick submission. Instead, they faced determined opposition from a species that had spent its history fighting against oppressors. What about the shipyards? Amy asked. Kate switched the holographic display to show the massive construction facilities hidden in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Dozens of new warships took shape, protected by stealth fields and automated defense systems. On schedule. Kate said, the Phoenix-class cruisers will be ready within a month. They carry twice the firepower of our current vessels and improved shielding. The door to the war room slid open and Lisa Martinez entered. The engineer looked exhausted, dark circles under her eyes. Her mind, however, remained sharp as ever. I have something you need to see, she said without preamble. Lisa activated her personal device connecting to the central display. The image showed what appeared to be energy readings unlike any they had seen before. What am I looking at? Kate asked. Lisa highlighted specific patterns in the data. The Zaxori are constructing something in orbit around Venus. The energy signature suggests it's weapons technology, but on a scale we've never encountered. Amy frowned. Studying the data, could it be a planet killer? Lisa shook her head. Something different. Our simulations suggest it's designed to disrupt FTL corridors to specifically target our drive technology. The room fell silent as the implications became clear. The Zaxori were developing a countermeasure to humanity's only advantage. How long? Kate finally asked. 3 months, maybe 4. Lisa replied, but there is another option. She manipulated the display, showing new schematics. Our team has developed a modification to the drive. It could allow us to create disruptions in normal space. Temporary but powerful enough to disable Zaxori ships without destroying them. Kate considered this a non-lethal weapon that could incapacitate rather than destroy. Would it work on their new weapon? Lisa nodded tentatively. The theory is sound but untested. We would need to get close to their construction site. It was a dangerous mission but potentially decisive. Kate made her decision. Prepare a stealth team. We need that data, and we need to know exactly what the Zaxori are building. 2 weeks later, Kate stood on the bridge of the Dauntless, a stealth corvette specially designed for reconnaissance missions. The ship approached Venus using a complex trajectory to avoid Zaxori detection grids. Beside her stood Nicole Baker, weapons specialist. Her dark eyes focused on tactical displays monitoring Zaxori patrol patterns. Stealth systems holding Nicole reported. But we need to maintain distance. Their new sensors are more sensitive than our previous. Intelligence suggested. Kate nodded. The Zaxori had been learning adapting to human tactics. This was the dangerous game of technological leapfrog that defined warfare. Bring us within observation range, she ordered. But no closer than necessary. I want visual confirmation of their project. The Dauntless slipped closer to Venus, its advanced stealth systems masking its approach. The ship's sensors recorded everything focused on the massive Zaxori construction project in orbit. Morgan Harris, science officer, gasped as the structure came into full view. The Zaxori construction was enormous. A ring-shaped device with dozens of emitter arrays pointing inward. It's bigger than we thought, she said, running analysis now. As the ship gathered data, a Zaxori patrol suddenly changed course, heading directly toward them. They spotted us, Nicole warned. Stealth systems compromised. Evasive action. Kate ordered, all data to secure transmission. Begin emergency jump sequence. The Dauntless veered away from Venus. Accelerating rapidly, Zaxori energy weapons flashed past the ship, missing by narrow margins. Jump drive charging. Morgan reported 30 seconds to activation. Kate gripped the command chair as the ship shuddered under near misses. We need only a few more seconds, she thought. Jump now. Kate ordered the moment the drive signaled readiness. The Dauntless disappeared into an FTL corridor, just as Zaxori weapons lock was achieved. The ship re-emerged near Phobos, one of Mars' moons. Its stealth systems, damaged but the mission accomplished. Hours later in the secure briefing room beneath Olympus Base, Kate presented their findings to the War Council. The images of the Zaxori weapon filled the display. We believe it is designed to collapse all FTL corridors within the Sol system. Lisa explained. It would trap our fleet, prevent reinforcement from our outer colonies, and eliminate our tactical advantage. How soon until it's operational? Asked General Helena West, her weathered face showing concern too. Months at most, Lisa replied. That accelerates our timetable. Kate said, We cannot wait for the Phoenix-class ships to be completed. We must strike now with everything we have. The council members exchanged glances. The human fleet was growing stronger, but still outnumbered. The Zaxori had committed nearly a third of their total forces to holding Earth and building their new weapon. It would be the largest battle humanity had ever fought. But the alternative was worse. Loss of their FTL advantage would mean slow defeat. Kate stood at the head of the table, her decision made. We have fought a guerrilla war for 2 years, hitting and running. But that strategy ends now. We will gather every ship, every fighter. Humanity will retake Earth or die, trying. The War Council nodded in agreement. 2 years of occupation had hardened their resolve. The time for caution had passed. Now was the time for boldness. Send the coded message to all resistance cells on Earth. Kate ordered. Operation Homecoming begins in 3 weeks as the Council dispersed to prepare. Kate remained studying the holographic display of Earth. The blue planet still called to her, still represented home. The Zaxori had believed humans would break under occupation. Instead, they had forged humanity into something stronger, more unified than ever before. The final battle would determine if that unity was enough. The human fleet gathered in the shadow of Jupiter, hidden from Zaxori detection by the gas giant's massive radiation belts. Admiral Kate Wilson stood on the bridge of the Defiance, now fully operational, and serving as fleet flagship. The ship had become a symbol of human resistance. 176 vessels of various sizes formed up in precise formation. Each carried the modified FTL drive that Lisa and her team had perfected. Many were constructed in secret shipyards, scattered throughout the outer system. Some were captured and repurposed. Zaxori ships Michelle Patel, tactical officer, approached with the final readiness report. Her expression solemn. All ships report ready. Admiral fleet formation is optimal resistance cells. On Earth, confirm they are in position. Kate acknowledged the report with a nod. The plan was daring, perhaps even desperate, but it offered the best chance of success. The human fleet would split into 3 battle groups. The first, led by Kate herself, would engage the main Zaxori fleet protecting Earth. The second, under General Helena West, would target the weapon under construction at Venus. The third, smallest group, would use the confusion to land reinforcements for the Earth resistance fighters. Is the package ready? Kate asked. Michelle nodded. The package, a specially modified FTL drive designed to create massive disruptions in normal space, was their secret weapon. If deployed correctly, it would temporarily disable Zaxori systems without causing permanent damage to Earth. A weapon designed to incapacitate, not destroy. Kate opened the fleet-wide channel. All ships. This is Admiral Wilson. The time has come to reclaim our home. For 2 years we have fought from the shadows. Today we step into the light. The Zaxori believed they could break us. They were wrong. She paused, looking at the determined faces of her bridge crew. We fight not just for Earth, but for the right of humanity to chart its own course among the stars. To all ships, operation Homecoming begins now. The first battle group activated their FTL drives, disappearing from Jupiter space to reappear in high Earth orbit, directly above the main Zaxori fleet. The surprise was complete. The alien vessels scrambled to respond as human. Ships launched their first coordinated attack on the Defiance bridge. Kate watched tactical displays as the battle unfolded. Energy weapons flashed across space. Shields glowed as they absorbed impacts. Fighter craft from both sides darted between capital ships. The second wave has launched, Michelle reported. General West's group is away. Kate nodded, her attention fixed on the battle. The human ships moved with practiced precision, executing maneuvers that utilized their superior FTL capabilities. They would jump short distances, appearing in Zaxori blind spots, firing and jumping again before the aliens could respond. The Zaxori, however, had numbers and raw firepower. Several human vessels disappeared from tactical displays, overwhelmed by concentrated fire. Divert 3rd Squadron to Sector 7. Kate ordered support the intrepid Shis, taking heavy fire as the battle for Earth intensified. The 2nd battle group emerged from FTL near Venus. General Helena West commanded from the cruiser Artemis. Her ships immediately engaged the Zaxori defense fleet, protecting the weapon construction. Deploy the disruptors, Helena ordered. Specialized missiles launched from multiple ships, each containing a miniaturized version of the modified FTL drive. They detonated near Zaxori vessels, creating localized disruptions that overloaded alien systems. The affected ships drifted powerless, their crews alive but unable to fight. The Artemis and 3 escort vessels broke through the weakened defenses, approaching the massive ring structure. The weapon was nearly complete, energy already building in its emitter arrays. Prepare the package, Helena ordered. A single ship, the corvette Swift, accelerated toward the center of the ring structure. It carried the largest version of the disruptor technology designed to overload the weapon itself. Zaxori commanders realized the threat. Too late, they directed all available fire at the small vessel. The Swift weaved through defensive fire, its pilot Vanessa Reynolds executing impossible maneuvers. Almost there. Vanessa transmitted her voice tense. Package deployment in 10 seconds. The Swift reached the center of the ring structure. Energy buildup in the Zaxori weapon reached critical levels, threatening to activate prematurely. Helena ordered. The Swift released the package and attempted to jump away. The FTL disruption package detonated, creating a cascading reaction throughout the weapon structure. Energy surged through the emitters, but instead of projecting outward, it collapsed inward. The entire ring structure shuddered as systems overloaded. The Swift, caught in the edge of the disruption field, lost power, its FTL drive offline. A Zaxori cruiser locked weapons, preparing to destroy the vulnerable human vessel. Not today, Helena thought. The Artemis jumped between the ships, its shields absorbing the Zaxori fire long enough for emergency power to return to the Swift. Both vessels jumped away as the Zaxori weapon collapsed in on itself. Secondary explosions rippled through the structure. At Earth, the main battle reached its peak. The human fleet maintained formation despite losses. The 3rd battle group successfully deployed landing craft to key locations around the planet. The resistance fighters, coordinated by Amy Rogers, emerged from hiding, attacking Zaxori ground forces. Kate watched as tactical displays showed the battle turning in humanity's favor. The Zaxori fleet commander, realizing the weapon at Venus had been destroyed, ordered his ships to regroup. The alien vessels formed a defensive sphere around their command ship. Admiral, they are hailing us, Michelle reported. Kate straightened her uniform. Put them through. The main screen activated, showing the Zaxori fleet commander. His obsidian skin cracked. With age, his amber eyes dimmed. Human commander, this conflict must end, the alien stated. Your species has demonstrated unexpected capabilities. We offer cessation of hostilities. Kate studied the alien carefully. Is this surrender? The Zaxori commander stiffened. The Zaxori Empire does not surrender. We propose negotiation, mutual withdrawal, exchange of prisoners, return to diplomatic channels. Kate glanced at the tactical display. The Zaxori still had significant forces, but the destruction of their weapon and the success of the ground assault had changed the balance of power. Continuing the battle would mean more deaths on both sides. We accept negotiation, Kate replied. But Earth will be freed. All occupation forces must withdraw. Human sovereignty must be recognized. These terms are not negotiable. The Zaxori commander was silent for a long moment. Then he inclined his head slightly. These basic terms are acceptable. Details to follow through proper channels. As the transmission ended, Kate's bridge crew maintained professional composure, but she saw the hope in their eyes. After 2 years of bitter fighting, the end was in sight. Send word to all ships, Kate ordered. Maintain combat readiness but hold positions. The Zaxori had proven untrustworthy. Before she would take no chances. The next 24 hours would determine if humanity had truly won its independence, or if this was merely a pause in a longer conflict.
1 year after the Battle of Earth, humans and Zaxori representatives gathered in the newly constructed Peace Hall in Geneva. The diplomatic complex had been built specifically for the historic negotiations, its architecture incorporating elements
from both species. Admiral Kate Wilson, now promoted to fleet commander, stood near the large windows watching delegates arrive, her dress uniform adorned with medals from the war. She would always be a military leader, but today she served as witness. To peace, Olivia Green approached her diplomatic uniform crisp, despite the long hours of negotiation. The past year had seen Olivia lead the human diplomatic team negotiating terms that would secure humanity's place in the galaxy. Almost done, Olivia said. Today we signed the final treaty. Kate nodded. The negotiations had been difficult. The Zaxori initially demanded restrictions on human FTL technology. They feared a drive that did not require their controlled resources. Earth representatives led by Olivia had refused. Instead, they offered technological exchange under specific conditions. It is a good treaty, Kate acknowledged. A fair one. The main chamber filled with delegates from both species. Additionally, representatives from 12 other galactic civilizations attended as witnesses. The conflict between humans and Zaxori had rippled throughout the galaxy, changing power dynamics that had been stable for centuries. Lisa Martinez entered the chamber accompanied by Amy Rogers. Both women had become heroes to humanity. Lisa for creating the technology that saved their species, Amy for coordinating the resistance that never allowed Earth to be truly conquered. They joined Kate and Olivia near the window. Lisa looked tired but satisfied. The past year had seen her working closely with Zaxori scientists examining the differences between their technologies. The cooperation had led to new discoveries benefiting both species. Did you see the latest test results? Lisa asked Kate. Our joint research team successfully created a hybrid drive. It uses minimal resources and creates even more stable corridors. Kate smiled. The war had begun over fears of human technology. Now that same technology was bringing species together. The chamber quieted. As High Counselor Zex entered, the elderly Zaxori moved slowly, his obsidian skin now dull with age. He had replaced the previous leadership after the war, advocating for peaceful cooperation, rather than continued conflict. The human and Zaxori delegates took their positions around the central table. The treaty document displayed on holographic screens for all to see. High Counselor Zex spoke first, his translator converting his words to multiple languages. Today marks the end of a regrettable conflict and the beginning of a new relationship between our peoples. The treaty we sign recognizes the sovereign rights of humanity while establishing frameworks for cooperation and mutual security. President Rebecca Chen, representing Earth, responded, "The path to this moment has been difficult, but through conflict we have found understanding. Through misunderstanding we have found truth. Humanity extends its hand in peace not from weakness, but from strength. Our differences need not divide us. They can inspire us to greater achievements." The formal signing began. Each article acknowledged, reviewed, and confirmed article by article. The treaty took shape. The most significant provisions included recognition of human independence and territorial sovereignty, mutual defense agreements against external threats, technological exchange programs with fair compensation, cultural exchange initiatives to build understanding, creation of joint scientific research facilities, removal of restrictions on human colonization efforts, establishment of regular diplomatic channels at multiple levels. As the final signatures were applied, the assembled delegates applauded. The war that had threatened to destroy Earth had instead propelled humanity to equal standing with species that had traveled the stars for millennia. Later at the celebration reception, Kate stood with her closest allies watching as humans and aliens mingled. Some tensions remained, but the foundation for peace had been laid. "We did it," Lisa said softly. "Not just survived, but thrived." Kate nodded. The human spirit remained unbroken. Despite occupation, despite being outnumbered and outgunned, humanity had fought its way to victory and then to peace. Helena West joined them, her military uniform replaced by formal civilian attire. The general had retired after the war, choosing to lead the rebuilding efforts on Earth. "What happens now?" Helena asked Kate, looked out at the gathering. "The future is unwritten," she replied. "But for the first time we write it ourselves. No quarantine, no restrictions. Just humanity finding its place among the stars." Olivia approached with a Zaxori diplomat in tow. Admiral the diplomat would like to discuss joint fleet exercises. Kate nodded professionally. Though the war had ended, maintaining military readiness remained important. The treaty included provisions for joint operations, allowing both species to learn from each other. As discussions continued, Kate found herself on the balcony overlooking the rebuilt city. The scars of war were fading, Earth healing as it always did. Stars appeared in the evening sky. Once distant and unreachable, they now represented endless possibilities. Michelle Patel joined her former commander. The young officer now captained her own vessel. "My ship leaves tomorrow," she said. "First mission under the new Joint Patrol Protocol." Kate smiled. "You are ready," she assured her. The new generation would build on what they had fought for. Inside the reception, Lisa demonstrated the principles of the human FTL drive to an audience of alien scientists. The technology that had sparked conflict now served as a bridge between species. Human ingenuity, once feared, was now respected as night fell over Geneva. Kate looked at her assembled friends. Each had played a vital role in securing humanity's future. Olivia through diplomacy, Lisa through technology, Amy through resistance, Helena through military leadership. Together they had changed the course of human history. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new discoveries, new opportunities. But tonight they celebrated not just survival, but the dawn of a new era. Humanity had proven itself not through conquest, but through resilience, determination, and ultimately the wisdom to choose peace from a position of strength. The stars above no longer seemed cold and distant. They beckoned promising adventures yet to come. As Kate rejoined her friends, she knew with certainty the story of humanity among the stars was just beginning, and it would be a story worth telling.